Plastomatic Valves Incorporated, quality engineered thermoplastic valves and controls, presents the latest technology in pressure regulation.
Plastomatic Valves Incorporated is pleased to introduce the Series PRA air-loaded pressure regulator and the Series PRS stabilizer. This combination of new products can make an exciting difference on the way you control pressure and can make a big difference in systems plagued by pressure drop and starving for flow. Pressure regulators protect equipment and piping systems by reducing potentially dangerous or simply unwanted high stream pressures to a lower predetermined and safe downstream pressure. A well-designed pressure regulator will come closer to maintaining your desired system pressure than a poor one. Most pressure regulators use a spring to control pressure. The new Series PRA pressure regulator uses compressed air with either a separate self-relieving type air regulator or the new Series PRS stabilizer. The Series PRS stabilizer is a closed-loop proportional controller designed to work with the PRA pressure regulator. The PRS stabilizer is installed downstream of the PRA where it senses and reacts instantly to fluctuations in downstream pressure. It then modulates the air pressure to the PRA, assuring virtually constant downstream pressure. The performance of these combined products rivals other control valve assemblies at a much lower cost. In the following demonstrations, you will see the difference between spring-loaded regulators and the new air-loaded PRA-PRS pressure regulators. The demonstration will show that the new PRA-PRS regulators produce the highest flow rates achieved with near-perfect downstream pressure regulation. In the first exhibit, we have installed a typical competitor spring-loaded pressure regulator in an assembly with the inlet and outlet pressure gauges. For demonstration purposes, we have a flow meter and a ball valve have been installed to simulate the demands of a typical piping system. In a no-flow condition, with an inlet pressure of 72 psi, we can see this regulator is set for 30 psi. As the system demands flow, you will see that the downstream pressure drops from the set pressure dramatically. As you can see, we have a deviation from the initial set pressure of 30 psi. At 4 GPM, the pressure drops to below 7 psi. That's because this pressure regulator isn't opening enough, or its internal flow passages are so small they become restrictions. With a 20+ psi pressure drop, the competitor's valve is creating more trouble than it's worth. In Exhibit 2, we have assembled a Plastomatic Series PR spring-loaded pressure regulator using the identical parameters. As we initiate 4 GPM flow, we see the downstream pressure drop approximately 6 psi. In fact, as we double the flow rate to 8 GPM, which is over 10 feet per second, we can see a pressure drop of approximately 14 psi. In this demonstration, you can clearly see that not all spring-loaded pressure regulators are created equal. Now for the ultimate in performance, we will demonstrate the PRA and PRS stabilizer. This combination uses compressed air instead of a spring. Using the same parameters we see at a no-flow condition, the PRA-PRS is set at 30 psi. As we simulate system demand for flow by opening a manual ball valve, we naturally expect the downstream pressure to drop. As we approach 3 GPM, the pressure has only dropped 1 psi. As we continue to open the manual ball valve, the flow increases to 6 GPM, with a pressure loss of only 2 psi. As velocity increases, the PRA-PRS combo will accurately maintain downstream pressure with virtually no droop or change in flow characteristics. The PRA pressure regulator can also be used without the PRS combination product. In that case, it is controlled directly by a self-relieving type air regulator. Although it would permit remote control of the set point, the performance would not be as effective as it would with the PRS stabilizer. In closing, we remind you that effective pressure regulation should never be accompanied by excessive pressure loss and diminished flow capacities. So be sure to specify Plastomatic valves, Series PR, spring-loaded, or PRA, PRS air-loaded pressure regulators for ultimate system performance.